Greetings, mathematicians. We are in for another lesson on decimals. And today, let's make sure we have our date, adding whole numbers and decimals. If you're wondering what this silly sign is, it's called an ampersand. It means and. If we look over here at our table of contents page number, we're looking at 18 left and, ooh, I forgot the 18. 18 right. I'll slide that in there. It's a little sloppy. All right, if you need to pause, pause. If you're ready, come with me. And for time, I have laid out a few things. I was told by a couple of students to cut down how much time these go into these videos. So let's get moving. Unit 2, Lesson 5, adding whole numbers and decimals. Now, we used whole numbers and fractions in Unit 1. Now we're going to look at what that looks like when we're talking base 10 or decimals. Our objective, I will add whole numbers and decimals by lining up the decimals. All right, read it with me. I will add whole numbers and decimals by lining up the decimals. Let's change that to the decimal place. Decimal places. All right. Now, when we're talking about whole numbers, the confusion really comes into play is where is the decimal point? So I'll give you a couple examples of whole numbers. 5, 103, 17, and I don't know, 5,621. Where are the decimals? And they're hiding in plain sight if you're looking for them. Remember, when we talked about fractions, we had a whole number and then we had a fraction next to it. Well, we do need to look next to the number, and it's going to follow the number. So place a decimal after the number. And when we're talking about after, we really mean right. We're looking right next to it. So right next to the 5, 5 written with a decimal would be 5 and 0 parts, or 0 tenths. 103. I have 103 whole items and 0 fractions of 1. 17. I have 17 and 0 tenths. I have no extra parts. And this works with any whole number. If you don't see a decimal, it's a whole number. So for this one, it would just be simply 5,621 and 0 tenths. So the first step here with adding these whole numbers is going to be, we have to put in a decimal and a trailing 0. And you'll hear me refer to this as the trailing 0 because it comes after. All right. And this will help us visually line up the decimal with another decimal. And let's take a look at an example. Let's make this super quick. 43 plus 0 and 26 hundredths. So I don't see a decimal. So the very first thing I need to do is put the decimal in. And I also need a trailing 0. Once I have that, I can rewrite this problem and I'll sing it as I go. Line up the decimals to add and subtract. Line up the decimal to add and subtract. Ooh, I see I'm missing something. Something is kind of silly here. I lined up the decimal so I know I'm correct, but I don't have another 0 here. I'm going to need another trailing 0. Let's put it into place. Now I have it all lined up and it's ready to match. Now you can do new groups above, new groups below, the standard algorithm. Let's add it up. 0 plus 6 is 6. 0 plus 2 is 2. Our decimals should just line up when we're adding and subtracting. 3 plus nothing is still 3. Bring down our 4. Excellent. Super easy sample problem. Let's do another one that's slightly more difficult. And I'll pull it out of our text. Let's see. Let's do 9 plus 5/100ths. So we've got another example problem. And notice, what are we missing? We're missing that decimal point. So first, we need to put it in, put a trailing 0. Then we can rewrite our problem. 9, 0 plus, where's that decimal? So if I have the decimal here, I know I need a 0 on this side, a leading 0. I need a 0 behind the decimal. I need my 5. Now, if I look at my place values, I'm a little crooked here, but for the most part, they're all lined up. What we need to put in is that extra 0, so we're all matched up, and we can keep organized. 0 plus 5 is 5. 0 plus 0 is still 0. Decimal, 9. It's as simple as that. While we're talking about methods for adding, I'm going to go over something called a subtotal method. You may have seen this in 4th grade. This might be the first time you're seeing it. It could blow your mind. But this method works off of place value. So what we want to do is we do want to line up our decimals. So we want to follow the rules as stated above. But let's see what we can do to make this adding go quicker. Instead of starting on the right and adding and sending numbers over when they're too large, like if we added 5 and 6 together, we get 11, one down here, one goes up or below. This method is based on place value. So which number has the biggest place value? And I'm talking about individual numbers, not the first addend or second addend. The biggest number here is this 4, and it's in the 40 place. So I could simply put the subtotal of 40 down below. So this is my tens. Now I'm going to go to the ones column. This 4 is representative of 4.00, 8.00, add them up. 4 plus 8 is 12. So I've added the ones column. Let's go to the tenths. If I have 9/10 and 2/10, you know, you're thinking 11/10, that doesn't work. What we end up with is 1 and 1/10. Put our 0 in, or 10/100ths. Now we can go to the hundredths. 5 plus 6, we talked about that, that's 11. So really we would get 11/100ths. Put our 0 in there. So the subtotal method, we can go ahead and add it up. 0, 0, 0, 1, we get 1. 0, 0, 1, 1, we get 2. Decimal, 3, 53, and 21/100ths. If you're anything like me, you're going to want to check your answer. Let's go through the old-fashioned way. We can go right to left. I'm going to do new groups above. Ooh, 53 21/100ths, 53 21/100ths. So this subtotal method, if you're interested in it, it's there, it's an option. All right, folks, today you'll have a little bit more in Think Central. It's going to be Unit 2, Lesson 5, PMT, homework. Not really homework, because all the work we do is at home. All right, folks, have a great day.